Hello friends, going to go over another feature of the TAR Reports website, www.tarreport.com. Log in, register, go with that, view a TAR report. Once again, as we've noted on numerous other videos, we got a lot of TAR reports up here and the screen can be pretty intimidating. So try and go through each of these one by one. This video, we're going to scroll down to the screen and we're going to do 7 county market metrics report. Take a look at that. What are the 7 counties, right? That's important for you to know. Chatham, Durham, Franklin, Harnett, Johnston, Orange, and Wake. That should cover the majority of activity in our market. You'll see up on top, there's always that, and then you'll always have a cumulative time period in terms of what is being presented for. Here is an explanation page by page of that, so please read that before you go into the report. And let's dig in and show you what is on here. First thing we're going to look at is metrics by city, and you can see what's going on in terms of the month of April, in terms of how many were closed here, just overall stuff in terms of, hey, we have a lot of towns in here. You want to do comparative stuff, especially a lot of people getting into this Cary versus Apex thing. Here's your Cary average sold price at $584. Your Apex at $608. Cary's probably not going to be too happy about that. Fuquay's at $438. Holly Springs is at $557. You can get a feel for why people, they may want to live in one place, but the other place is not there. So this is really helpful for your out-of-town buyers, just kind of giving them an overview of what is going on in each of our cities in terms of a month-by-month basis, the specific locations. Next page, we're going to look at new versus resale comparative metrics. I always like to look at this if you're not familiar with our market. We have a lot of new construction. We're blessed with that, so we're not like a lot of the major Northeast markets or the markets in California, which have geographic stops in terms of where they can build. We have plenty of land in here, and it seems like we're building on it all the time. So really important to have you aware of, in each of these cities, how much activity is resale and how much activity is new construction. Pay attention to that on a monthly basis. So the columns that are presented, these are the number of closed, the average sales price, and you'll always see a premium for new versus resale. Average days on market for new versus that, average sales price to list price ratio versus that, average square footage. So those are all, once again, overviews. If you got somebody moving into town, they want to know what's going on in Raleigh, Durham, Cary, Wake Forest, all that stuff. And once again, conveying this to your sellers, especially when you get into places like Wake Forest where there's a lot of new construction, 67 new versus 96. You get to Apex, 47 versus 69. Fuquay actually outnumbers the resales at 84 versus 59. So all that stuff is super important for you to know. And this gives us a percentage. So if you wanted to dig down in that table, that's one thing. If you wanted a quick percentage in terms of what's going on, you can see the percentage of new construction, the percentage of resales, and this is for the month of April in terms of that. So these higher percentage of new construction, you really have to convey to your resale sellers that they're going to have to be aware of what is going on in terms of prices for these new construction alternatives, because in the majority of instances, new construction is always going to set the upper end in terms of price, and the resale seller has to react to it regardless of what they've done to the house. Now we just get into the numbers in terms of what's going on a monthly basis. This is April to April here. You can see 3307 in April last year. This is actually pretty good in terms of we increased sales in these counties, but we're down from March. That's a little bit of a bummer in terms of that. So just be aware, and especially when you're doing your CMAs, be aware of the time that you are going to be marketing it. So CMAs, you are going to be forward thinking, 30, 60, 90 days. So if you were to do a CMA in terms of today or this month when I'm recording this is May, pay attention to, you really have 2 more months of the year in terms of when things are going to be really, really good, and that's May and June. And then once you get to June, you start getting into a downward cycle. So make your sellers aware of that if they're going to put their house on the market, put it on the market now, do everything that you counsel them to do in terms of getting it ready. Now we're going to look at prices. Once again, a monthly basis. I used to track this stuff on quarterly because that's really about all prices move. But ever since COVID came about in 2020, price metrics have moved up and down in a dramatic way. And I think this graph will give you an illustration of that. Once again, why is this important to you? This is important so you can see the trend for house prices. This is the average sales price by month. This is the median sales price per square foot. And this is the median sales to list price ratio for resale listings. This is specifically so you can do when you're doing your CMAs, and you're obviously, if you're doing a CMA in April and all your comps in April, you don't make any time of sale adjustments. But just to say that your house is worth $434 in April, or you think it's worth $434 in April, and then you go back and use a comp in January at $404, you don't want to price it at $404. You'll miss it by $30,000. Same thing if you were to look at it in December, see how prices have gone down in terms of that. So you went from $492 to $434 in April. So you actually have to make a negative time of sale adjustment in December and a positive time of sale adjustment in January. That's pretty fascinating. That's high-end stuff. If you can handle that, you'll get your house price correctly. If you don't, you'll be on this percentage down here at the low end in terms of sales to list price ratio. Once again, median sales price per square foot trend mimics what you see on the average sales price. Median sales to list price ratio, not something that you want to convey to your seller in terms of what they're going to expect. It's really what market conditions were in the past. If you go back to April, May, and June, you can see that 107, 107, and 104, all these were really, really, really high, indicative of an undersupply. When you get back to 97, 98, 99, that's really a more of a historical norm. So this bottom graph really just conveys to you what is going on in terms of market conditions. Heat map here, once again, this is just a forward to your out-of-town buyers in terms of where the market is and where the majority of activity. 27526 is Fuquay, 27587 is Wake Forest. There's also the centers of new construction in our market, so that is illustrative for your buyers and sellers. Then closed resale metrics by county. I start to split it in terms of the county, and then you go by subdivision. These are the top selling subdivisions. These are the top selling counties. Number of closed, average sold price, average days in market, average sales price to list price ratio. Same metrics down here. Then we're going to slice this into new construction. One of the benefits of this report is you do not get days on market metrics for new construction in any report that Paragon releases. So if you want to know what days on market are for new construction, which I think is important, this is the only place that you can get it. Top is the top selling counties, and then the bottom one is the new closed new home metrics by subdivision. And once again, number of closed, average sales price, average days on market. You can see exactly what's going on in terms of top lists. Now we're going to go into price bracket metrics, and this is for resale. So this is 100,000. You see the price brackets, the number of closed. This is the percent of total. So here's your market share. If you want to look at a sweet spot, it's between 2 and 300 with 23% and 26%. Average days on market, average sales price to list price ratio, average GLA, and average year built. One of the interesting things that you may find about this is most people think that since housing price between $100,000 isn't made anymore, it should sell above list. But when you notice that 87% sales price to original list price, and you look at the average year built, 1964, 1974. So yes, we're not making those anymore, but those are really old houses, and the majority of them need a lot of work. And so these discounts from original list price are indicative of what buyers think they should pay in order to get those houses, or how much money they're going to have to spend to get that house up to speed. Now we're going to look at price bracket metrics for closed resale listings, and this is days on market. Before was by price bracket. This is days on market brackets, and this is what I find fascinating in terms of, look at if you go from 0 to 10 days in April, 55% of resale listings were on the market between 0 and 10 days. That's pretty amazing. And you would expect the sales price to list price ratio at 103%. That's something that you would expect to see there. But as you can see, as you go up in days on market, that's average sales price list price ratio gets worse. So you go from 103 to 98 to 96 to 96, and you get all the way down once to 170 days on the market. It is 88%. So why is that important? Well, if you have representing a buyer and you're saying, okay, hey, the house is on the market between 0 and 10 days, chances are you're probably, if you feel like the price is correct, you're probably going to have to offer at or a little bit above. But the interesting thing is once that 10-day period goes away and you get to that 11th day period, the market really reacts to price in terms of discount from original list price. So it's not necessarily what the comps say or what you think are alternatives in terms of price. It really becomes a discount in terms of what you get from that. So on that 11th day, you can expect a discount of about 2% from original list price. On that 21st day, you can expect about a 4% discount, and that discount decreases as you go through there. So that's great information for you to know and great information for your buyer to know. And this bottom graph is just a graphic illustration of those percentages as noted above. So that's all we've got with this report. It's an overall listing. So if you're in Durham County, Wake County, Orange County, Harnett County, Chatham County, Johnston County, any of those, this all applies to you because the RTP submarket is a big one. And I think these are great overviews in terms of if you've got a lot of out-of-town buyers, which we do have. This is a great report to send. It's also a great report for you to represent, to understand and represent to both your sellers and your buyers in terms of an overview and as to what's going on in your market. So any questions that you have with this or any of the TAR Report website features, I'm available with the Contact Us button on the website.